And we are back with another video the day before Thanksgiving. That's Thanksgiving Eve. And I just wanted to first start off with the obligatory and heartfelt, deeply heartfelt, happy Thanksgiving and tell you all that I am grateful to you that you've been subscribing. For all of you who actually listened, hit that subscribe button and continuously comment respectfully, share your thoughts and opinions without being a jerk, and hit that like button. A heartfelt thanks, because I will tell you, if somebody would have told me 5 years ago that I'd be sitting at almost 85,000 subscribers and 1 million views a month on my YouTube channel, I would have laughed at them and said, nobody's going to watch me. I'm too old, I'm too fat, I'm too everything. There's absolutely no way they're going to watch me. They want to see the kids doing kid stuff and faking being rich. But for an older guy to get on here and do YouTube and find this much success, which it's not that much. So I know before somebody does comment and say, it's not like you have 1 million subscribers. Listen, I am grateful for where I'm at. I'm grateful that I got 85,000. I'm grateful that this thing has worked out to this point, and I get to do this as a fun, I don't want to call it a hobby because it's become a really good business, but only because of all of you who have supported me throughout this entire process, from me rolling around in my driveway installing stereo stuff and oh shit, I hope that got mother son of a bye. These chairs, I'm never gonna forgive these stupid chairs. Son of a bitch. But 15,000 subscribers to my first video with my RT that I brought home, surprised my wife with, and then got rid of it 3 months later because I wanted a Scat Pack, and the red eye that leapt the channel to significant heights shortly after I bought that thing and took it to the next level, and then the shift in everything we do here to more about consumer advocacy and news and updates on what's taking place with Stellantis as well as other car makers, but not as much as Stellantis because they are the current level, high level of rich entertainment because of their ridiculous lack of leadership. And this is stuff that decades from now, people will look back and laugh at how Stellantis screwed this whole thing up, which takes me to, after our great Thanksgiving talk, to telling you that Stellantis is doing it again. And of course, it's, couched under that Dodge is doing it. And I just had to share this with you because we're going to see more things like what I'm about to share with you taking place as they realize that they cannot sell these EVs. They can't even get them to market, but they're going to have trouble selling them once they do get to market for a couple reasons. One, the obvious, which is people don't want EVs. It's a smaller market. So now you built 100% of your cars, almost, let's just say that's where they're headed, for 10 to 15% of the marketplace. That's horrible business. It's like starting a business just to go after the smallest possible niche of customers. That's a hard leap to make, a hard reach to get to. So that's going to cause them a problem. That's just the obvious thing. If there was a 100% market opportunity, I would understand this. In Carlos's head, he thinks there's a 100% market opportunity. In reality, which we're all seeing more and more, which some of us were calling out years ago, is maybe it gets to 15, 20%, maybe even 30% in just insane places like California, where I live, where they ram it down our throats and the granola eaters decide that that's what they want to drive, and they all fight over battery chargers every single day out in parking lots across the state. But for the most part, they're trying to sell to people who don't want them. They're inconvenient. And that means that it's just going to be a flop. Now, we also have the impending change in administration, which could cause an issue for tax credits. Now, in California, the governor's saying, well, if they get rid of the tax credits, then I'm going to backfill them. Well, California can't afford that. They're facing a $2 billion deficit, so that's not going to happen, but that's okay. A lot of posturing taking place right now on both sides, and in the end, we are the ones that are going to be, getting pinched one way or another. But one thing we have that they cannot take away from us, neither side can take away from us, is our pocketbooks, our decision on what we're going to drive, while we can still get our hands on used cars, which will not go away, or cheaper cars that are better. And in this case, this Dodge Daytona EV, again, has no chance for those two reasons. And then the third reason, which is the primary reason, the biggest reason, is affordability. They've taken what was intended to be an everyday man or woman car. So those of you that love these things, you stepped into an SXT for the low 20s or a GT, and then you stepped into a $35,000 RT, and then a $45,000 Scat Pack, and then worked your way up to a $60,000 Hellcat. Well, those days are long gone. They've ran the prices to the moon, and then they launched this EV thing that they're going after a small portion of the market. They're going to potentially lose the tax credits, and then they're overpriced. So to get into the RT, I had a subscriber send me a picture today that showed they're advertising it for $70,000. That is a lot of money. Now, maybe not to these guys, but to most people, $70,000, especially at these interest rates in this market, of this economy, is a lot of money to buy something with mid-twos in range as advertised, and potentially significantly less if you decide to run the air conditioning and turn up the radio. I mean, you're going to, or drive uphill, or drive in the extreme cold or the extreme heat. I mean, you're going to not get what they advertise, and that's the same with Tesla, same with everybody. So people are going to be lining up to buy these things, but now you've got prices that are in the $85,000, $84,000 range for the Scat Pack. So you got $70,000 for the RT, which is wildly expensive, and then you've got $84,000. The one we saw at the LA Car Show the other day was $83,500, which is astonishing when you think about it. Again, a lot of money. So now you've whittled yourself down to 10 to 15% of the market, maybe 20% of the possible market with EVs, depending on where you're located. And then you've whittled down to the higher end buyer, which is a smaller portion of the market, where before Dodge had a huge portion of the market with the $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 cars. Well, now it's $70,000 to $85,000 for these things. You're now pushing into an even smaller segment of the market. And then the effective cost of these things, with interest rates the way they are right now and everything else that we're paying for in our lives, including energy, because you're going to have to pay to charge that thing, and you're going to have to put a charger in your house and do all that kind of stuff, or sit at a charger and pay for charging. And if it's peak hours, it's going to cost you as much as gas. So with that, it suddenly is not affordable to most people. So now they've pigeonholed themselves into a very narrow market, but they've got the answer. So the geniuses at Stellantis have the answer. And Mopar Insider, I read this article today, that they are going to offer 0% financing, as though that's some new idea. Every manufacturer's done it, but every time a manufacturer's done it, they just overcompensated, if you will, with a higher price. That's it. They raise the price on the car and then drop the interest rate to zero. Anybody who thinks they're not going to make their money one way or another is lost and confused. There's not some generous thing taking place when they offer 0% financing. Remember, at $84,000, 0% financing is, at 72 months, is about, with $10,000 down, would be around $1,000 a month. If you got 5.9% financing interest, you're looking at maybe $1,200 to $1,300 a month at 72 months. But here's the problem that goes with that as well. You got to have 750, 800 FICO score and be putting money down to buy that car, which again, now you're whittling it down to an even smaller segment of society, because anybody who's going to qualify for those introductory or incentivized rates, they're going to look for every possible way to say you cannot qualify. I remember sitting there with a 726 or 727 FICO score buying a Toyota freaking Prius years ago, and they said, well, because of something on your credit, or whatever the hell it was, we're not going to be able to get you that financing. You're going to have to get something around the 5%, back when rates were like 2.9, 3.9%. By the time I got back to finance, the finance guy goes, why didn't you take the 2.9? And I was like, well, she told me she was going to have to, put me into, 5.9, 6.9, so I'm just going to use my credit union money. And then The finance guy goes, oh, well, it shows here I can give you 2.9. I'm like, okay, so why'd she say, and he just says, I don't want to talk about it. Because she's trying to get the bump. They got a buy rate, and she's trying to make extra money. I get it, but it's shady no matter how you cut it. But that was a 720 something. They're trying to pull that on you. So they're going to pull, if you have an 850 FICO score, they're going to try to pull it on you. But how many of you actually have that? Go ahead and comment below, because I know you're very proud of it, as you should be. But you're going to comment and say, I've got that. But you can have an 850 FICO score and not enough car loans, not high-end car loans, which $80,000 would fall underneath that. All your car loans are $20,000 or $30,000. You're not going to get that financing. These are all things that are going to come out when people try to apply for this stuff. But here's the catch that Dodge is saying. You have till December 2nd to apply for this and get it. You got to be extremely qualified, and you can get it if you do it by December 2nd. That's freaking hilarious. And I swear, let me just make sure I'm not reading this wrong, because that is the craziest thing I've ever heard, considering that you can't even get these damn cars. So they aren't even in dealerships. Like, if there is any that made it to dealerships, good luck. So yeah, they're talking about 72 months. I think they might even offer it for, that's what it is. It mirrors similar promotions available on Stellantis' other electrified vehicles, like the Wrangler 4xe, Grand Cherokee, Chrysler Pacifica. So when they said in this article, it's going to be available for the Dodge Charger Daytona, but you have to take it by December 2nd, then here it is. The deal is slated to expire on December 2nd, 2024, leaving a limited window for interested buyers to take advantage. The freaking Daytona EV isn't even in any dealerships that I know of. And if there is any, please let me know. But I've called and texted many dealerships just trying to see if anybody's got them. They don't have them. So I'm talking about literally next week, whatever the 2nd is. So let's look at that. Monday. Come Monday, you won't be able to get it. So that's when it expires. So they launched this out there for the Daytona EV as though that's newsworthy, and hoping to make it easier to get more people interested, is what they're saying in the article. Yet it's going to expire on Monday. I'm going to go ahead and predict that they're going to extend it, so don't feel like you're pressured. But keep in mind that at these prices, they're just getting that interest on sales price. So, and that's been the normal creep up in prices enables them to be able to do that. They either have to drop the prices or drop the interest rate. Either way, it's the same exact thing. Hopefully everybody understands that. Me having to explain it. You're either paying $20,000 in interest, or they give you, $10,000, $15,000 in incentives on the car. Unless they give you, let's say, $10,000, $12,000 in additional incentives on the car, in addition to, let's say, the tax credit that still exists as of today, and they give you 0% financing, then you're not really getting any benefit. You're still buying a way overpriced car with a modest tax credit. And by the way, many people don't qualify for that tax credit because there is income requirements as well, which leaves people like me completely out of it. I can't get a $7,500 tax credit from the way I understand this. So with that, everybody, what do you think about this? I mean, they're given a few days. The cars aren't even out there, but they're still promoting it as though you can get it on a car that isn't even at the dealerships yet. You're going to see more and more of this, and I'm doing this video to tell you all, stand by. If you want one of those EV contraptions, just wait. Just sit back and wait. The prices as they get delivered to lots and sit there, and just the dealers have to continually charge those things and just gather dust, that they're going to start offering not only 0% interest, but also additional incentives just to get those things moved, because these dealers are going to be struggling just to cover their floor plans to keep these things sitting on their lot. So don't get excited about some 0% offering that expires. You're not going to find one anyways. Be careful with the 4xe, because there's a lawsuit right now about them catching on fire. So be cautious unless they can prove that they've solved that problem. I would probably hold off until that gets solved. And that's all, folks. Stay tuned for a lot more. I'm sure they're going to try to move these things. They're trying to do stuff early, like the first call baloney, to get people excited about them, and it's just not working, and they still have yet to have delivered the 2024s at the end of November. They're not out there. Unless somebody can tell me one made it to a dealership. I've got a picture I'll put up on the screen right now where they were all sitting in storage, and the rumor is they've got problems. And TK, go watch his video. He's saying they're talking about canceling these things. I can't imagine that happening because they've got so much money out there, but hell, anything could happen. If they can't get them to run, if they can't get them to charge, and they can't solve the problem, Yeah, they may have a recycling boom going on at Stellantis and Dodge. So with that, everybody, please like, subscribe, comment, share your thoughts. Have an amazing Thanksgiving with your families. Don't talk politics, or it will be ruined, because this is that time of the year and that time of the decade we are in where just holidays get challenging. So I promise my wife I will bite my tongue tomorrow. Have an awesome, awesome day tomorrow, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.